What's up, guys? Did you hit your goals for 2020? Yeah, me neither. But today I want to go over how you can not only set great goals, but how to actually achieve them in this upcoming year. So every year we come to the beginning of the year, and what's the first thing on everyone's mind? What are we going to do new this year? What are your resolutions? What are your goals? What do you want to change? What are you unhappy about? These are all great questions and great things to do, but the majority of people don't actually achieve the goals that they set out to do. You know, there are a few categories we see everyone kind of look at every year, one of them being health and fitness, one of them being finances, maybe a career change, better relationships, budget better. I'm not going to go too deep into goal setting because I think that's a very individual thing. Yes, there are some common categories. We'll go over them very quickly, but I really want to talk about how you can actually achieve those goals, because year after year, people stay in the same rut, or they get worse. They develop bad habits, or they just never actually get to the point where they want to be in their life. The problem isn't that people set too high of goals. The problem is people think about it the wrong way. I'm gonna go over that a little bit more in detail, so stay tuned. So first, I assume that all of you watching want 2021 to be better than 2020, right? It can't get any worse. So the first step in improving our life and becoming better is to actually identify, what do we want to improve on? What were we not happy with this year? What goals did we set for ourselves last year that we didn't achieve? So this is going to be very individual for every person. You have to do some introspection, reflect on the last year, reflect on what you want, and then we're going to start getting into how we're actually going to achieve that. Define your goals. This is the fun part. Everyone wants to see what they can do in the new year. Don't think this is going to take much time for you. I need you to identify a specific goal. Put both short and long-term goals on your list. In the process of hitting the long-term goals, we'll often achieve the short-term goals and be able to go through that progression and continually update our goals as we hit them. 3 of the most common categories I see people wanting to set goals in and improve in: finances, health, and relationships. After we set our goals, now we need to start working on the systems that we're going to put in place in order to hit those goals. I've already done this last year. It didn't work out. 2020 wrecked us. Okay, that's true. I didn't hit all my goals either. Here's how we're going to separate what we did from last year and the year before and the year before, and we're going to start hitting them this year. So most people, when they think about goals, they are worried about the end product, but they don't focus on how they're going to achieve them. You should spend more time planning out how you're actually going to achieve the goal than the goal itself. For example, when we're playing a sport, the players on the field don't spend all their time looking at the scoreboard. Check it, kind of see your progression where you're at, but the majority of their time is actually placed on playing the game. So where they need to position themselves, what strategies they're going to use. And this is where a lot of people fail in making their New Year's resolutions or making their goals for themselves. So this year, I want to flip everything we've done before. Go ahead and make your goals, but don't spend too much time on it. I want you to focus on the process of actually achieving those goals. If you make these processes daily habits, that is what's going to get you to the end goal. One of the main influences for this is the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. So one of the key concepts is the 1% rule. If you improve by 1% every day for 1 year, you will be 37 times better than you were at the beginning. So this just goes to illustrate how effective compounding interest is. We all know about the greatness of compounding interest in finances, but have you ever thought to apply it to your own life? Small changes done consistently over time lead to huge results. Forget the goals and focus on the process, improving yourself by 1%. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to do 1% more work every subsequent day. Perhaps a 1% improvement for you is to take a 15-20 minute walk every day. Continue that consistently, and over time, you'll make a big difference in both your health, your attitude, your happiness. Focus on the system and the process that you create in place to hit those goals instead of the goals themselves. So one of the other important concepts in the book is actually the idea of identity change. A lot of us think about this backwards. Basically, there's 3 different components of identity change. You have your own identity, what you see yourself as, healthy or unhealthy as an example. After you identify your identity, usually the next step is process it. So these are the things you actually do that confirm your identity. So for example, if you are an athlete, usually one of the processes that you will likely do is training, whether that's weightlifting, sprints, but that further confirms the identity of yourself. You're not only think of yourself that way, but you actually perform the processes that also confirm that. And finally, this leads to the outcomes. So these are the actual goals you want to do. You want to jump higher, you want to run faster, you want to lift more weight. Well, you have to perform the processes that come from your identity. You identify as an athlete, you perform the processes of training, leads to better outcomes in your performance and playing sports. A lot of us think about this the wrong way. We go backwards. So we think of the outcomes, do the processes in trying to change our identity. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not healthy, I want to become healthy, which is a good goal. But they think from the outside in instead of the inside out. This is a little bit hard concept to do, but if you can wrap your mind about, I want to be a healthy person, I am a healthy person, therefore I'm going to do what a healthy person does. I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to work out consistently, and then that's going to lead to the goals that you have. It doesn't take drastic measures. It takes small actions consistently over a period of time. One of the problems is that we are such a instant gratification culture. Even all our social media apps, Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube, they're all set up to instantly gratify you. You're looking for something, you get it immediately, and this is why social media is so addicting. But changing your identity is not instant gratification. It takes a long time, a long process. If you are able to change your thoughts about yourself, apply those actions that confirm that identity over time, then eventually you'll start hitting those goals. So real quickly, I want to go over the 4 ways that habits are formed. So habits and behavioral change are very interrelated to each other. If you change your habits, then you change your behaviors, and eventually you'll hit the goals. This also works in the reverse though. In the same way that compounded interest works for you if you apply good habits, compounded interest also works against you if you reinforce these negative habits. So we really have to focus on the core of our habits, our daily actions, in order to hit the goals that we want to achieve. So how are we going to change these habits? Well, the first thing you have to do is actually make it obvious. Think of the habits you have already, whatever we're trying to do, and we want to attach it to a habit we already have, if possible. So let's say you have a new medication from your doctor and you keep forgetting to take it. Well, if you put it by your multivitamins at night, because you're already in the habit of taking your multivitamins, it's real easy to look, see the vitamins, see the new medication right next to it. After you do this so many times, then that now becomes a habit as well. The second one is make it fun or make it attractive. So basically, you want to make the action more fun for yourself. A common one I see that I like doing is when I work out. I like to have, a workout partner, a workout buddy that I can go work out with. Not only do I go to the gym and actually lift, but also get to socialize and have some interactions, build the relationships with some of my good friends. Rewarding for me on a physical level, but it's also rewarding to me in that I can see some of my friends, hang out with them, and socialize while I'm also hitting my goals at the same time. Step 3, really easy. Make it easy. So for me, making it easy for me to work out. One thing I did is on my drive to work, I found a gym that's on my direct drive from my work to my house. When I'm driving home from work or driving to work in the morning, if I wake up early enough, there's a gym right there. I don't have to drive, 5 miles out of the way, 10 miles out of the way. I can just go in and do it real quickly and then keep going on my way. In the past, I had a gym that was, 15 minutes out of my way. And after the first few weeks, I noticed that I stopped going to the gym. That's 15 minutes to drive over there, 15 more minutes to drive home. That's 30 minutes I've wasted today, and I'm already tired. Step 3 is make it easy. If you have a at-home gym, make sure it's clean and ready to go. I know too many people who have clothes thrown all over their treadmill and they never use their treadmill. Even if they do have the motivation to go work out on the treadmill and walk, they look and see the pile of clothes on it as their clothes hanger, and they end up not doing it. And number 4 is make it immediately satisfying. So this is the point where we want to apply instant gratification to our own goals instead of just the bad habits that we have. If it's immediately rewarding, immediately satisfying in a non-detrimental way, that's very important. Going and working out and then going and have a bowl of ice cream afterwards, unless you plan for that, is probably not going to help you hit your long-term goals. You can make it immediately satisfying. That will help turn this goal and this process into a habit. I've been changing my routine to wake up early in the morning, go to the gym before work. And so there's a few things that I really enjoy about that. One is that I already get the workout early in the day. 2, I have a lot more energy. Working out is a huge thing for actually having high energy levels. I'm able to start the day after the workout with a lot higher energy levels and able to actually go enjoy my day at work. I had a roommate one time, he was like, don't talk to me before I drink my coffee. And even though I never got addicted to coffee or caffeine in that way, I basically had the same effect. When I didn't work out in the morning, I would still drag up to work and not be excited or motivated to be there. But since I've started my workouts in the morning, that's the one thing I definitely look forward to, is that burst of energy I have after the workout, and it just takes the happiness and excitement into the rest of the day. The other thing is, I know this is a very personal one and kind of comical, but after my workout is when I go eat my first big meal of the day. I'll usually go grab like a hot breakfast somewhere, but that's actually a motivation for me. So you got to be careful. A healthy diet is good, and you can definitely have that as one of your rewards, but going having a bowl of ice cream or dessert afterwards as a reward is very dangerous. So you have to be careful. You definitely can use food as a reward, but you have to be careful with it and set your limits before you get to the point to where you're breaking those rules and then you're derailing your progress. Those are the basics on how you can hit your goals. So instead of focusing on the goal, I want you to focus on the process, and not just focus on the process. What specific actions can you take in order to make these daily habits, and developing those good habits while eliminating the bad ones are ultimately what's going to lead to the big changes, you hitting your goals, basically changing your identity to match what you want. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. If there's anything you would like to see in the future, let me know. I really appreciate your feedback, and I'll see you next time.